there'll be people that watch this that haven't got a clue about QRQ, what it means, why we do it. There'll be people out there that'll be thinking, look at them bloody showing off. What would you say to people that think that if we send fast we're showing off? What would your reaction be to that?
Well, I don't think it's necessarily that we're better because we send faster, but just as a point of interest, if you're an Olympian, the faster you go down the hill or the faster you run round the corner, the better you are.
Yeah.
Well, I think with us, don't think it's that actually, because if we wanted to go down that particular way, we'd both be contesters.
Yeah.
Contesting is when you try and work as many stations as you can within a given time.
Yeah.
And neither of us are particularly interested in that. And I know a lot of contesters, and they're very nice people and everything, but they become very fixated about contests, and that isn't us. So it isn't that actually. But I think I'm not trying to beat anybody else, but I'm trying to beat what I can do. If I can send good Morse at 20 words a minute, I'm happier than I am sending it 15 words a minute. I'm quite happy to if that's all you can send. Of course, I'm not saying that at all.
Yeah.
And we all had to learn. If you think about it, even Samuel Morse, once upon a time, couldn't send at 15 words a minute. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. We all had to learn, including Samuel Morse himself. So putting that to one side, but then you get to it and you get involved in it, and it's very easy to learn to send fast now. And I'm about to give you a bit of I don't know if this is right or not, but if you think about it, if you go from 10 words a minute to 20 words a minute, you've essentially doubled it.
You doubled, yeah.
You've doubled your speed. But when you're at 20 words a minute, if you double your speed again, you're at 40 words a minute.
Yeah.
And so it isn't that insurmountable thing that it is. But different things happen at different speeds.
They do, yeah.
Now, for example, up to 25 words a minute, it's fairly simple to send.
Yeah.
Sending, and a lot of people say to you, I can send fast and I can receive. Sometimes that's true, sometimes it isn't. But yes, but generally speaking, up to about 25 words a minute, it's easier to send and receive. But once you get above 25 words a minute, it becomes easier to read it.
Yeah.
Assuming you're not writing it down, assuming you're just reading it in your head reading, head copy.
Yeah.
It's easier to read it at those speeds.
I found
than it is to send. So so once I get to 30 words a minute, to be honest, I know I start sending some really rubbish Morse over 30 words a minute by hand.
Yeah.
So I've learned how to touch type by doing one of the programs on the line, and I like to touch type above 30 words a minute, and that's what I'll use.
But you head read, don't you? Ear and brain.
Oh yeah, head copy read, yeah.
Head copy, yeah. I found when I was learning Morse, initially I could send Morse faster than I could read it. Now it's gone the other way round. Now I can read Morse faster than I can send it.
Yeah.
How fast was you sending Morse earlier then? What was your fastest speed?
Sending about 43 words a minute.
Yeah, so I thought it was a bit quicker than that.
Well, could have been 45. I don't know.
Yeah,
about 40. Yeah, just over 40 anyway.
Yeah.
And it's just one of those things, and I quite agree with you. And and people say, well, it can't be easy to read it because it's so difficult. But once you get into learning the Morse code, what I used to do actually, I'll give you my top tip of how I got from 30 words a minute to 50 words a minute. So I won't go see how good 60 words a minute because I couldn't copy 60 words a minute these days.
Yeah.
And the way I did it actually was by listening to fast Morse. And everybody goes to bed every night. And so what I do is I'd literally have it on the computer, I'd stick my headphones on, and I'd listen to fast Morse.
Yeah.
And so if you're reading at, say, 25 words a minute occasionally, if you read at 30 words a minute for 5 minutes, and then go back to 25,
sounds slow,
25, it sounds pedestrian.
Yeah, I worked a guy the other day. He was probably sending it about 18 to 19 words per minute. So I at that time, previous course, I'd been running at about 35 words per minute. So I seen this guy, and I thought, well, I turned the keyer down to a slower rate, what I thought was slow, and then went back. I recorded it, put it up on the YouTube channel, and someone said, well, you were so much faster than the other guy. I was just maybe 4 or 5 words per minute faster. But I'll tell you what, Rich, anything below 20 just sounds, like you say, pedestrian and plodding, doesn't it? So slow, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's just not bad. I had a lovely conversation the other morning on 40 metres with such a nice guy. We had a lovely conversation, and I was sending at 19 words a minute, and he was around about that speed.
Yeah.
And he said, and he actually thanked me. He said, well, thank you for the nicest QSO I've had this year. I thought, well, to be fair, it's only February, but
Yeah,
you know, but nevertheless, he said that, and I thought, well, that's nice.
yeah, it's nice. Yeah, and you get good operators like Brian Gogsy.
Oh
Now,
yeah,
he
I
hardly ever.
reckon he could read a lot
He can
faster
read a
than he
lot.
said.
He can read a lot faster, but you'll never get him sending messages above 19 to 20 words per minute.
Oh, that's fine.
But I think that's because he was a ship radio op. Used to work on the trawlers,
Yeah.
and they had their motto, I think, was accuracy over speed. I mean,
Definitely.
When we're pushing our limits with the QRQ, we're making loads of errors.
Oh, yeah, it doesn't. But it doesn't matter because you've only got to say 2 letters of a word, and I've got that word before you've even gone 2 letters. So if you make a mistake, it doesn't matter, and you're the same with me.
Yeah,
because we've been having a conversation every week, for 10 years or something. I don't know.
Oh, since I first worked here when I was living in Osborne Street in my previous house, and I moved from there in 2000.
Oh, there you go. And, it's a few years, isn't it?
So I reckon our first QSO was probably in 1997, 98.
Yeah, I don't know something. Anyway, but since about 2010, when you wanted to do fast Morse, and I wanted to do fast Morse, I think we've been basically on just about every week, haven't we?
Yeah, that fail. Yeah.
So that's my ideas, and there's some wonderful operators out there, and you hear these guys talking on keyboards at 50, 60 words a minute, and it's beautiful stuff to hear.
Yeah, and they're all head copying.
Oh, head copying. Yeah. I mean, that's a great thing. I mean, let's face it, we're playing at it. It's a hobby, really.
Yeah.
And so therefore, we don't have to be 100%. Obviously, if we were sort of shipboard operators and somebody was sinking, you know, you wouldn't be sending it 60 words, I'd say 60 words. You'd be sending it 40 words a minute.
Yeah.
You'd be sending it 25 words a minute to make sure they had 100% copy.
That's right. How long have you been a Morse code operator?
Okay, well, I got my license in 1976.
76.
76, that's 50 years ago.
50 years. And was you Morse from the get-go?
Yeah, really by necessity, because I could only afford old AM radios, and I had a KW Vanguard, and then I made a couple of radios myself, and of course they were very basic AM CW sets.
Yeah.
And then you very rapidly realise that people on SSB don't want to talk to people on AM, which is fine.
Yeah.
I get it. And so I went on to CW, and believe me, the fact I was short of money in those early years is the best thing that ever happened to me, because it forced me go on to CW.
Yeah.
And then once you go on to CW and you get into it, as soon as I had an SSB rig, and I kind of went back and listened to SSB, and I thought, that isn't for me.
Yeah. No, I love Morse. If it hadn't been for Morse, I think I would have given the hobby up a long time ago.
Oh, yeah.
I do find antennas interesting, messing with antennas to try and get a better signal out there. But antennas is about, and I've built a couple of QRP radios, but I'm not really a great constructor.
No.
And I think for me, the one thing which binds it all together for me is Morse code. What would you say to someone? It's a question I get a lot. How do you learn Morse? What's the best way to learn Morse? I feel that, for me personally, the best way to learn it is with a straight key to start off with, because that way you learn how each individual character sounds, and you get the rhythm into your body, so to speak, and you know what it should sound like. Some people, they immediately want to go to a paddle straight away, and I think that's a bad idea. What do you think of that?
I agree with you, but we have to be careful, because that's the way that we learnt it, so therefore we think it's probably the best way. But the one important thing I would say is you must learn Morse code before you start sending Morse code.
Yeah.
And there's a modern thing actually where you can learn and send at the same time. But I would say, how do you know if you're making a mistake or not? And it's a darn sight easier to learn right the first time and get all the nuances and everything.
I'll tell you how
it is to correct any mistakes that you're making with your sending.
Yeah, I'll tell you how I learned. I learned by sending. I had a straight key Morse oscillator, and then I looked at a book, and I took the first character of every letter in a paragraph, and then I sent it and recorded it back in those days it was a cassette tape deck, and I recorded it, and the next day I played it back to see if I could copy it. And then that's how I learned it.
So if I was learning today, how would I go about it? It's dead easy. First of all, I get a piece of paper and I'd write down all the characters. And I wouldn't put dot dash. I'd be putting did dar, for example, for A, dar did it for B, and so on. Dits and dars all the way like that. And then I get my piece of paper, and I'd be out, and I'd take the wife to the garage or something for eggs or whatever. And then I'd be sat in the car and I'd say, right, what is A? Oh, I can't remember. Didar, A, B, and you just look at a piece of paper, Didar, and that's how you learn. That's how I learned my initial characters.
Yeah.
So it's A to Z, 0 to 100. Sorry, 0 to 10, as it were.
Yeah.
So that's who you did originally. And then what I would do then is there's a wonderful site called Learn CW Online. It's just one of them by a great guy called Fabian. Is it DL1CW? DJ1CW?
DJ5CW, isn't he? And he's, I worked Fabian last week. I had a lovely contact over an hour with him, and he's
so he's the guy that's written this thing, and basically they've got a thing on there that sends you, for example, let's say it sends you Z and J, for example, and then you get Z and J, and then once you've learned Z and J, you don't have to learn it 100%, but once you've got it pretty well 85% or something like that, then put in another character. Now you might say, well, I want to learn it at 100%, and I'd say no, you've got to keep your brain flexible. So you want to learn all those sort of things. You don't want to get Z and J 100% and then let's say P not so well. You want to get them all the same sort of thing. So as soon as you've got that, keep your brain malleable, learn all those things, how they actually sound. And the other thing is, of course, that's very important is you want to be sending that at 18, 20 words a minute. Because for example, if you hear L, did-dar, did-it, you don't want to be counting, or let's say you hear S, which is an easy one, you don't want to be counting dot, 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 oh, that's an S.
No, you want to hear the sound, did-it,
that's an H. Did it or did it, and it's just a difference.
Did it, yeah.
And
I suppose
people mad.
By like you say, saying keeping it as dars and dits and dars, that gives you the rhythm then, doesn't it? So you've got L, instead of going dit, dot, dash, dot, dot, you go did-dar, did it. It flows, did-dar, did it.
Yeah, and then the other thing about it is don't try and use your eyes because you see some funny old things online. For example, all about using you can actually sort of see the letter C or whatever. Don't waste your time. It goes in through your ears, and it's just crazy. I mean, for example, if you were teaching a child colours, you wouldn't sort of blindfold a child and say, right, hold that orange, right? Can you smell that? That's what orange smells like. Because it's using the wrong sense. You'd want to see that's the colour orange. Look at the colour orange, and you'd know it. And exactly the same thing occurs when you're learning Morse. Is actually use your ears.
Use your ears,
Yes, definitely. So that's my voice on that. Is that enough for you? That's a good bit of a chunk there, Sandy. That's enough. I'm not boring anybody else.
So anyway, viewers, I hope you enjoyed that little chat from myself and Rich about Morse code. So we've both been Morse operators. I've been a Morse operator since about 1993. Rich has been operating Morse since 76.
I've been on the air since 76. I learned Morse before then, obviously, but
but anyway, that's what we think on it. Anyway, I say just the main thing is just practice, isn't it? And you've got to love it, haven't you? You've got to want to learn it.
And
want to learn it.
Yeah, and there's lots of little programs. For example, not everybody likes contesting, but there's a contesting program, and there's good programs on there that it'll teach you to sharpen up your Morse.
Yeah.
Anyway, good luck. Anyway.
Thanks for that, Rich.
Right. Cheers, mate.
I'll see you on the next one.